Thank you for setting the ball rolling. Distinguished guests, media partners, my dear colleagues, and all those who are tuned in, a very warm welcome to each one of you to Voyage 2020, the seventh edition of Investment Voyage Conference of A.Balasubramanian Sun Life Mutual Fund, presented along with ET Now. As we begin our investment voyage, as a matter of coincidence and good omen, our Honorable Prime Minister has announced a huge package of 20 lakh crores to revive the Indian economy. I'm sure this surprise announcement would give the necessary lift to the mood of the investment world and give added vigor to the purpose of our conference. The journey of voyage from the first edition that we held in the year 2014 to the seventh edition of today's session has been a great one. Voyage has now become our flagship event each year. We started off with a small gathering of about 500 participants in the first edition of Voyage 2014. And this year we have more than 10,000 participants attending from all over the world, of course on a virtual platform. Let me take this opportunity to thank each one of you for taking time out to attend this voyage session and for your continued support and association with A.Balasubramanian Sun Life Mutual Fund. These are unprecedented times. The world is battling an invisible yet potent enemy, the coronavirus. Governments, central banks, businesses all around the globe are in uncharted waters, taking calculated measures and decisions in the face of uncertainty that the COVID-19 pandemic has unleashed, hoping to sail through the rough seas of business disruptions, fragile economies, feeble business, and economic outlook. The macro and micro drivers of businesses and economies are facing headwinds with the life of people coming to a stagnation. It is in these times that guidance of the policymakers and thought leaders is indeed needed the most. We at A.Balasubramanian Sun Life Mutual Fund aim to humbly provide through our flagship annual event, Investment Voyage Conclave, some guidance and future direction by inviting experts to decode the current situation and make best possible decisions in the world of investment. This is also the first edition of the voyage that is being conducted purely in the digital space, being hosted on the dedicated Voyage website, our Facebook page as well. And this year too, like every year, we invited extremely experienced policymakers, industry experts, thought leaders, apart from our own team, in order to get an overview of the things as they stand today and a deeper insight on the way forward. It is my firm belief that in the long run, the world of investments is meaningfully gainful. However, such investments go through lots of ups and downs each year based on emerging trends, both in the macro and micro economy. Each of these variables are influenced by various factors, which are turning more and more complex with each passing day, especially post-COVID-19. The mutual fund asset base has had a phenomenal growth and has reached a total size of 24 lakh crore, average assets under management as on March 2020. The industry has attained scale over the last few years due to increased financial awareness and a higher digital penetration. Post this IL&FS crisis in the year 2018, financial market went through its own challenges in the form of multiple credit events related to India and general slowdown that we have witnessed in the overall economy. In the equity market too, handful of stocks were driving the Nifty and Sensex movement, leaving behind scores of mid-cap and small-cap companies that delivered significantly below average return to shareholders during the last 2 years. In the face of all these ups and downs, the Indian mutual fund industry continued to focus on growing the retail and SIP book. The retail asset base of the industry has crossed rupees 12 lakh crore as on March 2020. The monthly SIP book for the industry stands at 8,641 crores, with almost about 3.1 crore live SIPs as on March 2020. The total outstanding AUM and the SIP is close to about 2,40,000 crores as on March 2020. The total folio account for the industry is close to about 9 crore folios outstanding as of March 2020 for the whole industry. There lies a tremendous potential for the mutual funds in India, as the industry is still largely untapped. As of today, the Indian mutual fund investors base comprises of less than 2% of the total Indian population. When compared to the bank deposit base of 135 lakh crore, the Indian mutual fund asset base constitutes merely 18% of the overall banking deposit base. The interesting fact that I want to highlight is that about 88% or 119 lakh crore of the banking deposit base is in time deposits. And given the fact that the mutual funds is one of the biggest financial market intermediary, we would continue to witness the industry size growing to newer heights as it happened in the US over the last 3 to 4 decades. In fact, US mutual fund industry is as big as the US banking industry, as mutual funds have over time gained the confidence of investors despite going through ups and downs purely by meeting the investors' need in the long run. Hence, for the greater and larger success of all stakeholders, it is important and critical to drive the mutual fund business holistically, especially in two parameters, namely a number of investors being added to the industry, offering products that are highly relevant to the investor's portfolio through the right asset mix of both equity and fixed income schemes. We as an AMC have been an integral part of the mutual fund industry's journey and have ourselves completed 25 years as I speak. My sincere thanks to all our valued partners and investors who have been and continue to be part of this journey of wonderful journey of A.Balasubramanian asset management. As an asset manager promoted by two financial powerhouse, A.Balasubramanian Capital of A.Balasubramanian Group and Sun Life Financial Canada, we have a long-term commitment to the business. I would take this opportunity to reiterate that we are committed in working towards the best interest of our valued investors and partners as always, and remain so at all points of time to give the right input. We stand at the forefront, especially in times of crisis and distress, disseminating rightly and timely the developments that impact the investment world and handle our investors and partners all throughout to generate the best possible investment experience for them over a reasonable time frame. As I look back over the past 7 years, we as Sun Life AMC have grown holistically in terms of asset base, in terms of customer base and distributor base, market expansion, digital progress, penetration B30 cities, and smaller towns as part of our growth drive. In the next few minutes, let me give you some brief highlights as to how we have grown since the first year of voyage 2014. Our overall assets and management has increased from 86,000 crores in March 2014 to 248,000 crores in the March 2020, a rise of 2.9 times and absolute growth of 188%. Our debt assets under management stands at 1,15,000 crores as of March 2020 and has gone up by 2.2 times from 74,000 crores in March 2014, an absolute growth of 150%. Our equity average assets under management has gone up by 7.3 times from 12,000 crores to 87,000 crores at an absolute growth of 630%. As a result of this, our equity AUM now stands at 35% of our overall assets under management. Our investors' folio additions have also been very encouraging, with the active folios causing 71 lakhs. In 2014, we were present in 96 locations. Currently, we are present in 330 locations. Our planned strategy is to eventually be present and operational in all the 543 Member of Parliament locations. We as a fund house have been keeping high focus on increasing our retail customer base while improving our equity mix in the overall assets under management. To simplify our products, keeping in mind the needs of the retail investors, we have taken solution-based approach in categorizing our products under the 4 solution bucket. One, of course, saving solution, which is nothing but liquid schemes. The income solutions is coming from fixed income schemes. A wealth solution is coming from variety of equity schemes, and tax solutions coming from real asset schemes. These 4 solutions buckets are further supported by the value-added products such as SIP, SIP, STP, SWP, a CSIP, a product with the insurance attached to it, and value-added services we offer to our investors and partners. After seeing the scale and the growth in the last 7 years, let me now highlight what has led to this kind of growth and highlight some of our key initiatives and also our learnings. Our strategy around 3 Ps, namely our people, performance, and process, with 3 Cs, clarity, commitment, and consistency, with a motto of making it win-win for everybody, for our investors, distributors, and assets. While we remain committed to this process, no doubt in the last 2 years or so, we had to face many challenges and further got added up post-COVID-19 issues as well. I'm confident we will come back on our strength and strong belief on 3 Cs and 3 Ps in the coming year, as the past learning from our own mistakes makes us to do even better in the coming years. Our process around risk management and compliance has improved our governance standards quite substantially in the best interest of all stakeholders. The strategy of continuous engagement with our valued investors and partners has improved our mindshare. And one of the engagement we take pride is around creating awareness about investing in mutual fund by our dedicated team across the country throughout the year. As the world is moving towards the digital direction, we too have evolved and have launched an exclusive mobile app for our distributors, A.Balasubramanian partner app and partner portal, which acts as a one-stop solution to our distributor needs. In the same way, we have also created mobile apps, A.Balasubramanian Fingo app and A.Balasubramanian Active Account app for investing in liquid fund for our investors to provide a greater convenience in dealing with our fund house. Through a single click of a button, a partner or distributors can email all his or her customers to top up the SIP of their customers and explain about the new product or new features, among other things, which are now been built as part of our website itself. In order to ensure that we provide the best service standards, we also adopted 24/7 service delivery and have dedicated senior citizen service desk team. All the queries and complaints are resolved satisfactorily in a timely manner through a quick resolution mechanism culture by way of 12/2, which is nothing but within 12 hours it has to be answered, or by 12 afternoon the next day it has to be answered. All these initiatives undertaken by us have resulted in winning few awards and recognition from the external report agencies, both for our investment management capability and for our presence in the asset management industry. Our investor education team won both the Asia Asset Management Award and Outlook Money Award for the best fund house for investor education 2020. We were also awarded the best equity aims of the year 2019 by Outlook Money. Our Privilege Club has won 3 major awards in the 13th Annual Customer Loyalty Awards in Mumbai, the best loyalty program in financial service sectors, which currently we are offering to all of our distribution partners. I'm happy to say that our voyage has become a prestigious event in the financial market. Since our first event in 2014, voyage has grown bigger and bigger in its reach and impact. Let us have a quick look at our last year voyage in the form of a small AV.
A one-of-its-kind conclave.
This is not a very ordinary group. It's not easy to assemble this kind of audience.
A platform where the change makers of today chart the course for a better tomorrow.
We as an AMC are committed to give the right input, especially during distress time.
Distinguished panelists and industry experts come together to help you maneuver markets in 2020.
We thought it was important this time because there's a lot of uncertainty around in the markets, globally as well as domestically. It's important to take a longer-term perspective.
The 7th edition of Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund presents Voyage 2020, Navigating to a Better Tomorrow, partnered by ET Now.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
As we move into the new financial year, 2021, I feel that the year ahead is going to be filled with lots of unknown variables that can impact the sentiment towards the investing world, the financial service industries, and mutual funds in general. We are in the uncharted and untested waters today, and with the future looking uncertain, it is important to remain hopeful and positive. And no doubt there will be a period of ambiguity and turmoil, but there will always be a light at the end of the tunnel. Recently, the RBI governor has promised to do whatever it takes and is necessary to support the economy through these challenging times. The government too has announced yesterday a major structural reforms by dedicating 10% of the GDP, amounting to 20 lakh crore, to revive the Indian economy. Our honorable Prime Ministers aptly touched upon the 5 pillars of the economy, which is economy, infrastructure, systems, demography, and demand. In order to make these 5 pillars deliver the desired results, Prime Minister also has announced reforms that will help in removing the bottlenecks around liquidity, labor, law, and land. I'm confident that the RBI and the government will continue to come with various measures that will propel the growth of our country and eventually help India to emerge as a strong winner among the rest of the global economies. The way the businesses and the economy respond is a key factor in determining the key way forward. For any business to grow and navigate through market cycles, it must stay agile and evolve continuously. We as a fund house have had some learnings over the past 2 years, which we have internalized and inbuilt into a robust investment process to deliver the best result to investors and distributors. In equity, we look at companies that are well governed and buy them with the principle of growth at reasonable price, which is called as a GARP model. And in fixed income, our investment approach remains more towards safety, liquidity, and return. Having grown the size in the credit-related funds, we did go through some issues with these funds. I must also mention our incremental risk that we would have taken in the last 2 years got significantly reduced. And in fact, all our fixed income schemes, except credit-related funds, are sitting with a significant proportion of the portfolio with the AAA assets, government-related instruments to provide liquidity as well as they provide safety. Such a strategy can come with a cost of return, but at the same time, and the current situation warrants such strategy, we would stay with this kind of strategy in the interest of investors for some time. While markets will go through its motion and ups and downs, if one carries a long-term focus on wealth creation and concentrate on asset allocation without being influenced by either fear or the greed, there is meaningful gain to be made from mutual funds. It will continue to be one of the best vehicles to invest in the market, providing a comprehensive solution to investors' needs based on their financial goals and risk appetite. Asset allocation is a mantra of the hour and is always the mantra in the world of investments at any given point of time. The solutions offered by us under the 4 buckets of savings, income, wealth creation, and tax savings are designed to take care of asset allocation needs of customers. If each of these solutions are used in the right manner, as per one's goal, it will provide a better experience to investors through different market cycles. The various asset classes behave differently at different points of time, with one asset class delivering good performance, while the other asset class experience downturn, and vice versa. It can happen on both the sides. Hence, asset allocation helps you to protect your investments and help you benefit from the performance cycles of the asset classes that comes at different point of time. One should not ignore one asset class over the other. It is a popular belief that equity provides better returns in the long term, but it comes with volatility, and the longer time period helps. On the other hand, fixed income schemes may not generate equity kind of return, but come with the lesser volatility. These are the various categories of fixed income schemes that can be looked at, right from overnight fund, liquid fund, low duration funds, corporate bond fund, banking and PSU funds, etc. All of them are actually curated to meet the different financial needs of investors, as well as the risk that is existing in today's scenario. I'm sure Manish and Mahesh, who are our co-CIO of fixed income and equity, will speak more in detail on the global and local economy and how we wish to navigate the way ahead in managing your portfolio. The Voyage conference over the next 3 days will give you more insight around the economy and the investment scenario. As I mentioned earlier, all the speakers are practitioners who have huge expertise in the respective fields. I'm sure the discussion will be very, very interesting and helpful to everyone attending the sessions. I also extend my compliments to ET Now for our media partner. And my special thanks to Nikunj Dalmia, the managing editor of ET Now, who is a big advocate of the mutual fund industry. He has been a great support, a source of strength in framing the flow of conference. I would like to end by saying we'll always remain humble and stay committed to build our business with our partners, investors, and create the right ecosystem in the financial market. Humanity today is in the midst of pandemic, but I'm hopeful that we will tide over this phase for better tomorrow. I wish all of you and your families good health and happiness. Take care and be safe and stay safe. Let me again conclude with my usual quote, no matter how dark things seem to be, or actually are, raise your sights and see the possibilities, always see them, for they are always there. With this, I wish the conference all the best, and I look forward to getting your feedback on the conference over the next 3 days period. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.